Hi, Helen from crystalsandcrochet.com here, and welcome to part 7 of the Cosmic Cowl, our crochet along. In this section we are going to be working a band around the whole project, making cosmic stars. Okay, so there's quite a lot of back loop stitches, we've got some cross double crochets, and we've got the cosmic stars. Okay, so I will take you through it all step by step. Hope you enjoy. Round 76. Okay, so we're going to join with a standing double crochet in the last stitch of any long side. Okay, and then we're going to double crochet in the previous stitch, making a crossed double crochet. Okay, so to do that, yarn over, come back into that previous stitch, pick up the yarn from behind, through 2 and through 2. Okay, so it's actually an interlocking stitch, and that second double crochet is made sort of around the first one. Okay, I'll show you again in a moment. Right, in the chain 2 corner space we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, right, swing all this around. I've got it zoomed in quite a bit so that you can see this quite clearly. Okay, so to make our crossed double crochet, we skip this stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to make a double crochet in this stitch we've just skipped. So we go in from the front and pull the yarn around that previous double crochet. I always just pull up very slightly so that you get this nice sort of crossed effect at the bottom. Okay, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and then come back into your skipped stitch, pull up your loop, through 2, through 2. Okay, so that's your crossed double crochet there. Okay, let me show you. We're going to do 15 of these. Okay, so skip a stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, back into the one you've skipped, pull the yarn round, over and through 2 and through 2. Okay, skip the next stitch, double crochet, back into the previous stitch, and that's your crossed double crochets. Okay, right, so 15 of those, we've got 4 there, so I need to do another 11 and I will catch up with you once I've done those. Okay, so I've zoomed right in so that you can see those. We've got 15 crossed double crochets. Okay, let me zoom back out again. There we go. Okay, we are now going to half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so don't forget you've made a double crochet in here, so into that next stitch we go 1, 2 and 3. Okay, that's the complicated part of this round. You are now going to single crochet in the next 111 stitches, and you'll then reverse this. So you'll half double crochet in 3 stitches and then make 15 crossed double crochets. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will catch up with you when I get to the other end and I have made those 15 cross doubles at the other end. Okay, so I have come all the way along, 111 single crochet, 3 half double, and then 15 crossed double crochet. Okay, so on the long side you're again going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the corners. You will then just make 14 crossed double crochet, 3 half double, and then single crochet in 143, half double in the next 3 stitches, and then again 14 crossed double crochet to finish off the long side. Okay, so fairly straightforward, but do just double check that you're making 15 on the short side, 14 on the long side, and the number of single crochets is the only other thing that differs. Okay, so work your way all the way round, and when you get right back to the beginning here, you are going to join to this standing double crochet, fasten off and secure your ends, and I will see you for the next round. Okay, round 77. Now the next 6 rounds make up a band, and we're going to be making cosmic stars, but the first couple of rounds just are part of the background. So if you are using one of the packs, you will know which colours you're going to be using for these rounds, but if not, do sort of have a little look forward, because 77 and 78 are the background colours, and then 79 and 81 are the actual stars, so 80 is also a background colour. So do just have a little think about how you want this section to look. Okay, so we're going to join with a standing double crochet in the last double crochet of any long side. Then in the corner we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So there we go, there's 2 and then chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, so these next couple of rounds are really easy. They're just all double crochets. Okay, so again, make sure you don't skip that first one. And then on the short side, you are going to double crochet in 181 stitches. Your corners are all 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And on the long side you will double crochet in 209 stitches. Okay, so do just keep a check on your stitch counts, just keep using your stitch markers to help you. Okay, and I'm sure you can whiz round this round, and I will just join up with you at the beginning of round 78, so the next round, because that is worked slightly differently. Okay, so once you're finished, join up to your standing double crochet, but in the back loop only. Okay, and I'll see you for the next round. Round 78, we're going to chain 3, and that counts as our first back loop double crochet. We're then going to back loop double in the next 2 stitches, which will bring us up to our corner, and that's where our repeat starts. So again, in the corner we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. There's 2, 1, 2, and 1 and 2. And then we're going to back loop double crochet in the next 185 stitches. So don't forget that very first one. Scoot your stitches along if you need to. And again, remembering to work through the back loop and third loop, so you've got those 2 loops there, just to keep your stitches more stable. Okay, so 185 on the short sides, which will give you a total count of 189 on each short side. Then on the long side, you're going to do the corners exactly the same, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then back loop double crochet in the next 213 stitches. So 217 stitches in total for your long sides. Okay, so carry on all the way round, and then when you get back to the beginning here, join to the top of the chain 3, fasten off and secure your ends. Okay, and I will see you for the next round. Round 79. Okay, this is the first or bottom half of our cosmic stars that we're going to be making. The cosmic star essentially is a treble 5 together. It's much easier for me to show you than it is to read all the blurb on the pattern which describes how to make it, because it actually looks far more complicated than it actually is. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to join with a standing back loop single crochet in the last stitch of any long side. Then in the corners we're going to do single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet. And that's the same for all of the corners. Turn everything round. Okay, the only difference is the beginning and end of the long side and short side. Other than that, the repeats are the same all the way through. Okay, so we're going to back loop single crochet in 9, so don't forget that very first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, and remember to work through the back loop and the third loop just to keep your stitches more stable. Let's see how many we've done there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, one too many. Let's just double check that again. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I had done the right number. Don't count that first one from the corner. Okay, so we've back loop single crocheted in 9 stitches. Okay, so our cosmic star is a treble 5 together. So we're going to yarn over twice, and then our first leg is, or first partial treble, will go in the front loop, third front loop back from that last one. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's how I'm counting it coming backwards, including this front loop of the last stitch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just go down into that one, yarn over, pull up your loop, and then through 2 loops, oops, split the yarn, that's it, through 2 loops twice, so we've made a partial treble. Okay, don't worry if these loops lift a little bit, because once we've done everything they'll all settle back down into place. Okay, so yarn over twice again, and your second leg comes 1 stitch forward but 1 row down. Okay, so here we're working in row 78. These front loops down here are row 77. Okay, so 1 stitch forward, 1 row down, and again go down into the front loop. Don't try and work up from underneath. Okay, third loop, 2 stitches forward, 1, 2. So essentially you're skipping 1 front loop and then making the third one. Same again for the fourth one, skip 1 into the second one. Okay, so there's 4 partial trebles. Now the next one is next stitch but back up into round 78. So it comes into here. Oops. Okay, so we've got 6 loops on a hook, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and then chain 1 to form an eye. Okay. Bend your work over so that you can see into the back. We've already got a stitch here in this stitch. We're going to skip this one and we're going to back loop single crochet in the next 9. Okay, so 1, 2, the third one will fall into the same stitch as the 5th leg. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. So you can see there's the, let me get another hook. There's the eye that we made with a chain 1, and we've then got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back loop single crochets. Okay, get a little bit more yarn. Okay, so it's a treble 5 together, so we're going to yarn over twice, and then we're going to come back 1, 2, third, and go down into the loop and through 2 loops twice. Okay, next stitch along but 1 row down. Here's the next one. Skip that next loop, down into that next one, the second one, second stitch forward, okay? And again, not this one, second stitch forward. Oops, I'm losing everything. And then 1 stitch forward, but back up to round 78. Okay, so you've come third stitch back, which is also always going to be the 7th front loop after your star in the previous one. So in front of the 7th back loop single crochet, next stitch along but 1 row down, second stitch forward, so skip 1 front loop into the next front loop, skip 1 front loop into the next front loop, next stitch along but back up into round 78, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops and then chain 1 to give you that eye, okay, which you're going to work into in a couple of rounds time. Bend your work forward slightly so that you can see there's the stitch that you've got to skip, that next one. So that's your next one to go into, and again you can see I'm working through the back loop and the third loop, and 9 back loop single crochets. The third one will always be the same stitch as the 5th leg of your cosmic star. Six, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, also if you want to sort of double check things and make sure that you're getting everything really straight, this one, first leg, always in front of the 7th single crochet of the repeat, apart from beginning and end, okay? You'll then have, after this one, you'll have 2 more back loop singles. Then you've got a skipped stitch, okay? And that stitch that you skip, this third leg will be made into the front loop level with that, okay? So that's what keeps it central. And then again, you back loop singles here. The third one will be in the same stitch as the 5th leg. So that balances, you've got your essentially front loop treble 5 together, and you've got 3 back loop single crochets either side of it, okay? Just bring it down out of the light a little bit more so you can see. Okay, so there's 3 either side of the actual little star. Okay, so take your time, carry on and do that. Don't forget the chain 1 to close to form the eye, because you will be working into that later on, and it does keep everything nicely centralized. Okay, so you're going to do that repeat of the star and 9 back loops single crochets 18 times on the short side, because you will finish with a full 9 back loop single crochets at the end. Your corners are all single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. On the long side, you're going to start with only 8 back loop singles, but then the star and 9, you're going to do that 20 times. You'll make 1 more cosmic star, skip the stitch behind the center of that, and back loop single in 8 again at the end. Okay, so just take your time and get them all nice and neat and correct, and remember, work down into the front loops of the first 4 legs and work up into that last one, okay? And that way your stitches will all sit nice and straight, and you won't overstretch things by trying to come down and go in from the bottom. Okay, I will see you for the next round. Round 80. This is a fairly simple round. There's just one or two little things that you need to be aware of. Okay, so this time we're working normal stitches straight into both of the top loops. So we're going to start with a standing double crochet, and then each of the corners is worked 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Okay, so there's 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. There we go, let's just turn everything around. Okay. Okay, so first of all, you can see that this first stitch is almost hidden, so do be very careful that you don't skip that stitch. And on the short side, you're basically going to make a double crochet in the next 191 stitches. On the long side, it is 219. Okay, but the main bit that I want you to be aware of is which part of the star to work into. So I'm just whizzing along these first 10 stitches. Okay. So there's a stitch made, let me get it right up there, that's it, made into that last single crochet. Okay, now remember we did a chain 1 with each star, so we've got an eye here. If the lights, if I hold it like that, I think you can probably see it a bit better. There we go. There's the eye. So as with all stitches, the actual loops to work into for the star stitch are just here, just before the stitch. Okay, so make your double crochet into the star stitch, which is your treble 5 together, skip the eye and then go into the next 9 stitches, and you're going to be able to check this count quite easily because you're going to be working in multiples of 10 every time. So let me just whiz these in and I'll show you again. Okay, so that's 9 double crochets made into the 9 single crochets, and then this very next one is where we make our 10th stitch, but don't make a stitch in here. This is our chain 1 and that's our eye. There is our next stitch that we're going to work into after the star. Okay, so just keep your eye on your stitch count and make sure that you go into this sort of treble 5 together, skip that chain 1 that forms the eye, and then into the next 9 stitches. So it does make it a little bit easier, the fact that you're going to be counting in groups of 10 all the time. Okay, so carry on like that all the way around. Remember, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the corner. Don't forget that first little single crochet that could well be hidden. 191 stitches on the short side, and then on the long side you will be making a double crochet in 219 stitches. Okay, and the pattern does say quite clearly, ensure you do not work into the eye of the cosmic star, because you will be working into that in a moment. Okay, so carry on all the way round. When you get to the standing double crochet that we did there, join to that, fasten off and secure your ends, because we're then going to make the rest of our cosmic star in the next round, and I will see you then. Round 81, and we are about to complete our cosmic stars. So this is the second half of the cosmic stars. Okay, so we're going to join with a standing back loop single crochet in the last stitch of any long side. Our corners are single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Let's just turn everything round. Okay. So again, the short side and long sides, this beginning and ending stitch count is slightly different, but the repeat is exactly the same. So for the short side, you're going to back loop single crochet in the next 10 stitches. When you're working the long side, it's just 9. So let's just pop these in, and then I can show you the second part of the star. So 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Again, working through the back loop and the third loop, so that you're keeping these stitches really stable, so that when, like with here, where we've made that next round, we've not ended up with those stitches all stretching up, and for the most part the front loops actually more or less cover the round behind. You only get a tiny little bit showing of that round behind. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, correct. Okay, so when we're working on the stars, we're only going to work into the eye. So we're going to make a treble into the eye of the star. So you need to pull, you need to pull that, the last round, back out of your way, because you're working in front of that, and just make a treble as you would do normally. You're then going to skip the next stitch and back loop single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and you're going to do that 3 times. So there's 1. So into the eye and push the previous round back so that you're working in front of it. Skip that next stitch, back loop single in the next stitch, that's twice. Again, into the eye of the star and make a treble, and skip the next stitch and back loop single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so that's how your star is going to look. Okay, so you've got just 3 legs, you've got 5 legs down here, you've got just 3 legs here in the top part. Okay, you're then going to back loop single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So between each star you'll actually have 5 back loop single crochets, but one of them is the repeat with making the star, then you're going to do 4. Okay, so let's just show you again. Okay, so we're going to treble into the eye of the star, working in front of our previous round. Oops. Let me start that one again. Okay, treble into the eye of the star. Skip the next stitch, which is this one, back loop single into the next stitch, and you're going to do that 3 times. So into the eye of the star, skip that next stitch, back loop single in the next stitch, into the eye of the star. The third one is a little bit of a squidge to get it in there. Skip the next stitch, back loop single in the next stitch. Okay, and that stitch will line up with these that we've done, the front loop stitching on the 5th leg from before. Okay, so that's your star there, and then we're going to back loop single in another 4 stitches. And that's our repeat. Okay, and you just keep working that all the way across. Okay, so treble into the eye, skip 1 stitch, back loop single in the next stitch 3 times. So there'll be 3 skipped stitches, 3 trebles and 3 back loop single crochets, and then you make another 4 back loop single crochets. So you'll actually see 5 in between the legs of the star. Okay, so carry on all the way around like that. On the short side you're going to do that 18 times, and when you've done the last repeat with the 4 back loop single crochets, you'll then make another 5 back loop single crochet. On the long side you start back loop in 9, then make your stars with your extra 4 back loop single crochets 21 times, and then after the last star you'll make an extra 4 back loop single crochet. Okay, so take your time, make sure that you're skipping the right number of stitches. There should be 3 skipped stitches at the back there. Work all the way round, and then once you get back to the beginning here, join to your standing back loop single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. And I'll see you for the next round. Round 82. We're going to join with a standing double crochet in the last stitch of any long side, and then in our corners we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So there goes 2, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and let's swing everything round. There we go. Okay, so a fairly simple round, quite easy to get into the repeat. So we're going to double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So let me just whiz those in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, not 10. I can't read. 11 stitches. There we go. Okay, so 11 normal double crochets, not forgetting that very first stitch. And then as we work over our cosmic stars, we're going to front post double crochet around the treble or the leg of the star, double crochet in the next stitch, and we do that 3 times. Okay, so front post double, double into the next stitch, front post double, double into the next stitch. Okay, so you've got front post double, double in the next stitch, front post double in the next stitch, front post double in the next stitch. Okay, and then you're going to double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So exactly the same as when we were making the star. There's 5 stitches in between the front post doubles, but this first one is part of the repeat from here, so there's then just the 4. Okay, and then we start that all over again. So it's front post double around the leg of the star, double crochet in the next stitch, and do that 1, 2, and 3 times, and then double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, so now you can see how your stars sort of stand out from the background. Okay, so carry on all the way round. You're going to do 18 times on the short side with an extra 6 double crochet at the end. Then on the long side, all of your corners are 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. On the long side you start with 10 double crochet, and then again you start the repeat, front post double, double in the next stitch 3 times, and then 4 double crochet, and you'll do that 21 times on the long side with an extra 5 double crochet at the end. Okay, so carry on all the way round, and when you get back to the beginning here, join with an invisible join to that standing double crochet, and I will see you for the next round. Round 83, the last round of part 7. Okay, we're going to join with a standing double crochet in the chain 2 corner space at the end of any long side. Okay, so right into the corner space this time, and we're then going to double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, let's swing around. There we go. Okay, so on the short side, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and then double crochet in that 3rd stitch. Okay, so skip that first hidden stitch and that next one, double crochet in the 3rd stitch, and then double crochet into that previous skip stitch, giving us a crossed double crochet. Okay, so basically we're just shortening the side by 1 stitch. Okay, so we're effectively skipping that first stitch after the corner, and then we are going to do crossed double crochets all the way across, so it's 99 times. Okay, so exactly the same as before. Skip a stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, go back and make your double crochet working around the first one to form your crossed double crochet. Okay, exactly the same as we did in the corners back here. So we're now basically finishing off this whole section. Okay, so carry on around. You're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the corner spaces, and then you're going to skip the 2 stitches at the beginning of each side, double crochet, and then come back into that first one. So effectively you are skipping that stitch and then making a crossed double crochet. And on the long side, that's 114 times. Okay, finish, go all the way round, and then you're going to join to that first standing double crochet, fasten off, secure your ends, work away all of your tail ends, and that will be part 7 finished. So I hope you've enjoyed making the cosmic stars, and I will see you for part 8.